Community mediators say they will handle neighbourhood disputes with more empathy and compassion and work towards win-win resolutions for all parties. With updated laws on community disputes passed in Parliament, some hope it will be a deterrent for persistent troublemakers. But some experts are also urging more sensitivity, especially when bad behaviour could be caused by underlying mental health issues. Nikhil, Khattar with more.
Sweet melody to some, but misery for those next door. Happiness over a new home, but dread for the neighbours. These are some noise complaints Raymond Poe dealt with in his community over a decade as grassroots leader. He says misunderstandings often happen due to differing tolerance levels.
There's no perfect so-called size to fit all, but I think communication is very important for us to, so-called live together in this society. Especially in Singapore, I think noise is unavoidable, but it depends on how we can accept the level of it.
He says the key to solving spats is to get both parties to talk and compromise. To find such middle ground, some grassroots leaders are nominated to go through mediation workshops, where they learn to facilitate discussions between neighbours without imposing their own views, even during sensitive scenarios brought about by difference in cultures.
We must hear both parties, we cannot take sides, and we must communicate and try to reframe some of the angle or the disputes, to make them understand, and once they understand, hopefully they can come up with a settlement.
But not everything can be solved amicably. Over the past 3 years alone, authorities received around 2,500 complaints about noisy neighbours every month. It set up a new enforcement unit with the power to investigate severe cases. Community relation officers may deploy noise sensors to detect and measure disturbances. When faced with perpetrators who may have underlying mental health conditions, these officers can issue a mandatory treatment order as a last resort.
It's really just about being fair to individuals with mental health conditions, for as long as their insight remains intact, for them to be able to exercise that autonomy in terms of their decision whether to get treatment or not. Of course, if your insight is poor, to the extent where your capacity is affected, then I think mandatory treatment could be fair and important.
Striking a balance between sensitivity and neutrality will be key for community relations officers.
It's critically important that CROs have a good understanding of mental health challenges. So have knowledge, mental health literacy, and also the skills to talk to residents in a safe, empathic, non-confrontational manner. Mental health first aid training. It's a fantastic way to equip officers with practical skills, to have such safe conversations, to support residents in distress, and signpost them to the right mental health resources.
The government says it will work with partner agencies on the assessment and treatment of nuisance makers who may be having mental health issues. The Community Relations Unit is aiming to begin a year-long pilot starting right here in Tampines from the second quarter of this year. The town was selected because it has an average caseload in Singapore. The pilot will give authorities valuable insights on how this initiative can be scaled up around Singapore.